something I tell a lot of students, especially a lot of young athletes, is the circle around you is so close to who you are. And that's very, very important. But the circle you really need to create is so close to the goals and the dreams and the things you want to be. And that is not the buddies and the people in your apartment. Who are those people? That's your network. That's who you got to go out, find, meet. Find the people who are closer to who you want to become, not close to who you are.
Did you see maybe kind of somewhat of an identity crisis per se once they were done with their sport?
Yes, definitely. I saw that so much. I still see that to this day because I am still quite connected with the golf team at Penn. I think the level of identity crisis depends on when they realize that they might not want to pursue their sport professionally. Like, I think personally, I knew that I didn't want to go professional going into college. So I feel like I hit that realization a little bit earlier, and I went through that self-identity crisis maybe in high school, not even in college. Right. But I feel like for kids where growing up, like, your sport is your entire life and you're spending 90% of your time on your sport, then all of a sudden when you do realize that, hey, maybe this is not something I want to do professionally, or maybe there's other things I want to pursue, there's definitely that identity crisis there, especially if it's at a more sports focused school where maybe it's not that common to do an internship, or maybe it's not even allowed if you're on the sports team. So definitely, I see that self-identity crisis all the time, which is really, really scary at that moment. But I think the athlete space is really, really willing to help each other. And that's something that I've experienced as well. And the first step is really just to talk to people who have gone through that transition, which is something that Alumni Direct does really, really well.
I think a lot of companies want to hire athletes, and they're just looking at that athlete skill set DNA. Maybe talk a little bit about that and kind of what athletes bring to potential businesses out there.
Well, there's, first and foremost, there's the work ethic. I think that the work ethic, the ability to persevere through ups and downs, the ability to, the leadership skills, the competitive nature does not typically die. Just when you stop competing, you're going to find something else to compete in. So if you go into sales, you want to be the best salesperson at your at what you do, right? You still want to be the best. That's not something that just withers and dies. I think I just think that there's just a lot of transitional skill set of being an elite or professional athlete at the highest level that skill set translates very much into business.
Any advice that you would give to athletes, across any sport, once their time is done, like advice moving forward?
Yeah, it's simple. It's ask a lot of questions. It's okay not to know everything, and it's okay to be wrong. I think a lot of people are too nervous or insecure to say they don't have the answer. If it was them on the tennis court or a golf course, they have the answer because that's what they've been doing for 15 years. But getting into a new field, I think you need to present yourself when you're moving into business is, I was able to do this successfully in just a different industry, and it's sports. Teach me and ask the questions how they did it and follow the path. I think a lot of people are nervous, as they should be, but they also, aren't outgoing enough to admit that they don't know it yet, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to learn.
I'll connect you with somebody that I know will help you, and I don't want anything to do with it. It's just knowing that I'm helping making these connections to help moving you forward towards your dreams. Eventually, hopefully, you'll be able to pay it back, or however that works. And it just in a genuine way where you're not really looking for things, but you're just helping make connections and helping people with their goals and their dreams. The universe always tends to work its way back to you in that sense. So I definitely think that's extremely important.